The serene silence of the galactic expanse was shattered by the ominous rumble of the Herrick's flagship, Dominion's Edge. It was a massive vessel, bristling with weapons and radiating the arrogant confidence of the Herrick, a species known across the galaxy for their martial prowess and conquests. They were conquerors, and their next target was humanity. To the Herrick, humans were an enigma, a relatively young species on the interstellar stage, yet somehow they had managed to colonize inhospitable worlds and thrive where others would have perished. Still, the Herrick Council considered humans inferior, their technology laughably primitive, and their spirit easily broken. That was their first mistake. The Herrick invasion began as all their conquests did, with a brutal display of superiority. Fleets of warships appeared in Earth's orbit, blotting out the stars and broadcasting their ultimatum. Their leader, High Commander Korath, spoke with the cold authority of someone who had never known defeat. "Humans," he began, his voice amplified across every communication network on the planet, "you have two options. Submit and serve the Herrick Empire, or resist and be annihilated. You have 1 hour to decide." On Earth, the response was swift but far from uniform. Governments scrambled to make sense of the situation, debating between surrender and resistance. Civilians panicked, military leaders prepared for the worst, and conspiracy theorists smugly declared they had been right all along. But amidst the chaos, a signal was transmitted from a nondescript bunker in Nevada's desert. It was short and simple. Challenge accepted. The Herrick had not anticipated the ferocity of the human response. Within hours of their ultimatum, Earth's orbital defenses, a patchwork system of satellites and railguns, had come online, firing salvos at the invading fleet. While the Herrick's advanced shields easily absorbed the initial attack, it was the precision of the strikes that unnerved them. Human weapons weren't just firing randomly. They were targeting weak points in the Herrick's armor with uncanny accuracy. "How is this possible?" Korath growled, slamming his clawed fist on the armrest of his command chair. "Their technology shouldn't be capable of this." "It's their AI systems," his tactical officer replied, her voice tinged with unease. "Their algorithms are adapting to our movements faster than we can counter." Korath's crimson eyes narrowed. "Then shut it down. Hack their systems, disrupt their networks. Show them why the Herrick Empire is supreme." The Herrick's cyber offensive was devastating. For about 30 minutes, human infrastructure across the globe flickered and failed as Herrick viruses infiltrated power grids, communications networks, and defense systems. Korath allowed himself a rare moment of satisfaction, confident that humanity's will was about to crumble. Then everything came back online, stronger, faster, and armed with countermeasures that the Herrick had never seen before. Unbeknownst to the Herrick, humanity's reliance on technology had made them masters of cybersecurity. Decades of defending against human-made threats had prepared them for this moment. The Herrick viruses were not only eradicated but analyzed, dissected, and repurposed. Within hours, Herrick systems began experiencing mysterious malfunctions, weapons refusing to fire, shields dropping unexpectedly, and navigation systems sending ships careening into one another. Korath's confidence began to waver. How are they doing this? The answer lay with Dr. Elena Vasquez, a leading expert in artificial intelligence and the architect of humanity's digital defense grid. From her underground command center, she orchestrated a counterattack that turned the Herrick's technological superiority into their greatest weakness. "They underestimated us," she said, her voice calm but resolute, "and now they're paying the price." Using the data gleaned from the Herrick's own systems, Vasquez and her team began coordinating precision strikes against the invading fleet. Drones armed with experimental EMP weapons targeted key Herrick vessels, while ground-based railguns fired projectiles at velocities that even Herrick shields struggled to withstand. The tide was turning. Desperate to regain control, Korath ordered a ground invasion. Herrick soldiers, towering and heavily armored, descended upon Earth's cities, expecting to crush human resistance with ease. Instead, they found themselves bogged down in brutal urban warfare. Humans fought with a tenacity and ingenuity that the Herrick had never encountered before. Guerrilla tactics, improvised weaponry, and sheer determination turned every street and building into a battlefield. And then there were the special forces. Clad in advanced exosuits, these elite human soldiers combined physical prowess with cutting-edge technology. They moved like ghosts, striking from the shadows and disappearing before the Herak could retaliate. For every human casualty, 10 Herak fell. One Herak officer's final transmission summed up the ground war perfectly. They are not prey, they are predators. Back in orbit, Korath's fleet was in disarray. Human ships, smaller and less advanced but far more maneuverable, were picking apart the Herak armada. Vasquez had even managed to hack into the Dominion's edge itself, causing systems to fail at critical moments. Realizing that defeat was imminent, Korath made a fateful decision. "Prepare the planet killer," he ordered, his voice trembling with both rage and desperation. "If we cannot conquer them, we will destroy them." The planet killer was the Herak's ultimate weapon, a massive cannon capable of obliterating an entire planet in a single shot. As it powered up, its energy signature lit up every sensor across the solar system. On Earth, panic spread like wildfire. But Vasquez and her team were already working on a solution. "We can't stop the planet killer," one of her engineers said, "but we can redirect it." "Do it," Vasquez replied without hesitation. Using the combination of hacked Herak systems and human ingenuity, they managed to alter the planet killer's targeting parameters. Just as the weapon fired, its massive energy beam curved away from Earth and struck the Dominion's edge instead. The Herak flagship disintegrated in a blinding explosion, taking Korath and the remnants of his fleet with it. In the aftermath, humanity surveyed the wreckage and began rebuilding. The Herak had learned a harsh lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. News of their defeat spread quickly across the galaxy, earning humanity a newfound respect and fear. As for Dr. Vasquez, she became a symbol of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. When asked how humanity had managed to prevail against such overwhelming odds, she simply smiled and said, "We adapt. That's what we do." And so, the Herak, once proud and invincible, learned the hard way that angering humans was a mistake they would never make again.